Crimped. That looks cute. Oh, that's such a cute picture of her too. 9:55.
We have a pray in. Can we have a quick pray in? Oh boy. Thank you.
There's five.
Let's just shake out the body. Come into present moment as we allow our breath to deepen itself in its own perfect rhyme and rhythm, knowing that there is only one of us here that is that infinite presence that we may call God or Spirit or Allah or Yahweh, Wakan Tanka, by whatever name. It is infinite, all present, all knowing. So I'm just standing in gratitude for all who have come here in blessing and service, and I love to perceive them. As we say, I put my whole self in, I take my whole self out. I put my whole self in, and I shake it all about. I do the hokey pokey and I turn, because that's what it's about. It is.
It's all about
It is that child to come in with that wonder. Since she saw the praying and then the camera started moving. His life. So like,
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this special lady, Yolo, I believe. I'm going to start off today with something I call God is the answer. God in me, and in everything I see God in you, and in everything you do, God is love. As sure as the stars will be up, it's as sure as the sun is shine, feeling our love. You're on my head. You started see how we shine. We are the show us the world. God's the answer. And God's the answer. And God's the answer. See God in you. And in everything you do, God is love. As sure as the stars is as sure as the sun is shining. Feeling our love. You're our love. We are the sun. Seeing we shine. We are the light that shows the world. It's the answer. God's the answer. God's the answer.
Freedom. Brief freedom. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. That's what we are now. We have officially changed our name. We're in the process of changing all our names and all the little places that we have it. But that is who we are, CSL Yolo. And welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Reverend David Clark. I'm the senior minister here at CSL Yolo, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you and thank you for joining us this morning, this crisp, cold morning. Welcome to our online audience. How you doing? We're live on YouTube and Facebook, so you have a lot of options to see us and to celebrate with us this morning. So I want to extend a special welcome to any first-time visitors that we have out there. I think we got a couple of first-time visitors. I will not point them out, but yes, so welcome, welcome, welcome if you're here for the first time. And now is a good time to let you know what we believe and what we practice here at Center for Spiritual Living Yolo. We believe that love is all there is. We sure do. Love is all there is. If you can go 5 minutes in a day without thinking of something or someone that you love, well, I defy you to do that. As soon as I say that, the thoughts of everything that you love starts flooding into your mind. But that is what we mean when we say that love is all there is. We're motivated by love. We're inspired by love. Everything is made of love. We call out for love. Love is all there is. Number 2, we believe that all thought is creative and influential. Thoughts are things. Everything around you has been preceded by thought. All of your clothes have been preceded by thought. This beautiful building, you yourself were preceded by thought. So we have to take a lot of what we think and what we believe in this philosophy because we know what we think we will see. Number 3, we believe that you are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now. Exactly as you are right now, as with everything that you've got going on in your life, with everything that you've got, with everything that you don't have, we believe that you are whole, perfect, and complete. And how is that? Well, we come from a whole, perfect, and complete source. We're made of whole, perfect, and complete parts. So we are whole, perfect, and complete. We believe this about ourselves, and we believe this about each other. Number 4, we believe in a world that works for everyone, and we are working from that world together. And I want to specify that we're not trying to make the world work for everyone. This world operates on love and law and cause and effect. And those principles run perfectly. There is nothing that needs to be done to make the world work better. The thing that we need to do is embrace the power that we have. Embrace the power that we have to use this natural world, to use cause and effect, to use our minds and our hearts to make tangible changes that we want to make. Because that's all we're doing in this world is making changes. So we are forever empowered to do that. So we believe in a world that presently works for everyone. And so now we want to do our namaste time. And this is where we just take a moment to greet each other. And we're talking about community all month, this month. And the biggest thing with community for me is belonging. So what we're going to do is we're going to see each other, let each other know that we belong. So namaste and you belong. Looking in their eyes and really knowing it and believing it because we do believe it. So, namaste. It's so wonderful to look into someone else's eyes and sincerely tell them and sincerely see them for who they are and for what they are, for their perfect, wonderful souls. So thank you very much. I so enjoyed the Namaste time. So now I'd like to welcome our practitioner of the day, Dr. Deborah Taylor. She's going to give us our vision, mission, and today's affirmation. Good morning, Deborah.
Morning, CSL.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Your eyes roll as you
I
say.
know. Who am I? Who am I? So it is my pleasure and honor to share with you our vision statement and mission statement and affirmation for today. So I am going to read the statements and then I'll invite you to speak these words in your own voice as we declare them into the universe. So the Center for Spiritual Living Yolo vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. So will you say these words with me? Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. And CSL Yolo mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. Let's say it together. Our mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. Yes, and so it is. So our affirmation for today, I'm going to just invite you to take a breath and allow these words to permeate your very soul. I am one with the circle of life. Please anchor this in your own voice. I am one with the circle of life. And so it is. And now I'd like to welcome back our minister, David Clark, to share some announcements for this week.
Thank you. This is normally done by our board president, Diane. But she is out today. And she told me she would be out, so I was prepared for this. So, announcement number one. I wish I was more prepared. Next Sunday's service. Next Sunday, as you may know, is Christmas Sunday. We are not going to be here on Christmas Sunday, but we are putting together a special little streaming service, a little pre-recorded thing, and that will be released on Christmas morning, so we can all still spend the morning with each other. But yes, we will not be here. It will be online only on Facebook and on YouTube. And we'll put those out at the same time. And if you join us on YouTube and Facebook, you will get a notification saying that we're broadcasting, and then you can tune in, or you can tune in afterward. It's the great thing about the internet. You can watch anytime. So, number two, gratitude group. We have a gratitude group that is run by our wonderful June Robinson. And I've, of course, got information on that. He said confidently. And I apologize because I knew that I would have to do announcements, but I, of course, forgot in the big scheme of things. So, the gratitude group. It meets the second Thursday of the month from 4:30 to 5:30 at Davisville Apartments. That's where June lives, in their community room. Most of us have been there before. It's at 1221 Kennedy Place in Davis. So contact June for more information. And also, we have two care circles, and they meet in Woodland and in Davis. Ask Marty Meyer for more information. She's right back there in the back row. Raise your hand, Marty. Yay! All right. And she will tell you about our care circles, and they're really wonderful places to just do some more spiritual exploration and get in with community a little bit more. And then after the service today, we are going to get together for fellowship. So join us downstairs. I don't know if you've ever been downstairs, but there's a wonderful fellowship hall downstairs, and we've got coffee and some goodies, and just like to get together and talk after service. So come on down and get to know us. So our speaker of the day is me, and our music of the day is our lovely, talented, and somewhat taped up Billy Larkin. Hey, it happens. I have worn glasses my entire life. I've spent time exactly like that. Tape all over my face. So yes, from kindergarten on. As you guys know from last week, I showed you the picture of my first day in kindergarten. I had my big old glasses on. So now we want to enter into the more contemplative part of the service. And to get us started, on that peaceful path, we have Heather Clark with today's sacred reading.
I think I'd get used to this. Okay. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social consciousness in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. This is from the CSL Global Vision. We demonstrate the oneness of spirit in everything that we do, knowing that this oneness is inclusive of race, age, ethnicity, culture, history, religion, political affiliation, experience, gender, and sexual orientation. This is also from the CSL Global Vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. As we allow our breath to deepen itself in its own perfect rhyme and rhythm, trusting that this invisible stuff we call air is a very essential necessity thing we need for our physical survival and thrival. I'm going to invite us to allow this to be a metaphor for that invisible side of life that we may call God or Spirit, Allah, Yemaya, Shango, Shiva, Wakantanka, Mother Earth, Father Sky, Gaia. You may call it Big Mama, our buddy, by whatever name it is, that infinite presence that is all powerful, all knowing intelligence. For there is only one of us here, and it is that. And as I know that I am a divine emanation, a divine expression of that one presence, that one love, that one power, that peace, that harmony, that beauty, that joy, that abundance. I know that it is the truth of each one here, that it is the truth indeed of all creation. There is no spot where God is not. And so I know that God is right here, right now, in perfect expression. As I speak the word, for in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. Word, your word is creative. And so I speak my word in gratitude for this sacred service, knowing that everything that needs to be said is said, and all that needs to be heard is heard, all that needs to be experienced. There's a safe place to be experienced. I speak in gratitude for our surrendered vessel, Reverend David Clark, as he allows Spirit to speak through his life. For our beloved board, for our practitioners, for our music corps, indeed for all our congregants and members and everyone who pertains to them, which means the whole world, the whole universe. We are one. And so I lovingly release my to harmony, yes. To divine relationship, yes. To abundance, yes. To joy, yes. To peace. Even in the face of what looks the opposite, we know that the very basis is there. And so I am simply calling forth an opening within each one to allow the light of truth to permeate, to penetrate, to enlighten, that love is all there is. It is active right now, right here, right everywhere. And so I stand in the feeling tone of all is well. And I invite all to join with me in anchoring this truth with affirmations of Ashe from our African tradition, Aho from our Native American tradition, Amen from the Abrahamic tradition, and in our words, and so it is.
Singing blessing to the world. You are the Lord, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and to you and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are, we are, we are the we are the voice of spirit on you, and to and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am, I am, I am the voice of spirit on you, and the blessing to the world is a blessing to the world. Is a blessing to the world.
I I am a blessing to the world. We can hold on to that. Can we say that one time? I am a blessing to the world.
I am a blessing to the world.
You are. You are a blessing to the world. In all you do, in everything that you are a blessing to the world. So we are talking about community this month. All month we're talking about different aspects of community, about our personal sense of belonging, and about accepting people into our communities. And today I kind of want to talk about communities in general. So what is a community? If you could flip that slide for me, Patrick. Thank you. A community is a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. That's what a community is. Pretty broad, because I have a lot of interests, and I certainly have a lot of attitudes. And I've got a lot of goals. And so I find myself aligning with a lot of different communities. And you may find this yourself. You are the member of a lot of communities. Hobbies. If you're into a hobby group, if you're a sports fan, you are certainly in a community. And speaking of sports fans, do we have an update on the final? Argentina won the World Cup. If that means anything to you, I appreciate you being here rather than watching the World Cup. My wife is she doesn't care about it at all. But
Only Brazil wins.
yes. But yes, that is a huge community, the community of sports fans. And it's very interesting being a sports fan, because you've got an instant kinship. I've got I wear a hat every winter. My little winter hat is my Raiders hat. Heather's showing that. That's I am a Raiders fan, long-suffering Raiders football fan. And when I wear that out in public, I can wear just a regular black hat, go to a supermarket, do my shopping, come back home, not speak to anyone. I wear that hat. And I go to anywhere. I'll go to the supermarket. People are striking up conversations. Oh, tough luck about the Raiders, huh? Yeah, it's tough. And we'll talk. If it's another Raider fan, then we'll talk about that. If it's like a 49er fan or some other team, then they'll harass me about it. It's all good-natured fun and kinship. And that's what community is. Because you'll have this community of people that love football. And then you'll have all these sub-communities of people that love their separate little teams. But overall, the kinship that we feel with people that share our same interests is rich and is deep. And it could be argued that that is what life is all about. Finding out who our community is. Finding out who we connect to. Political affiliations. If you're Democrat or Republican or independent, you've got a community there, a community of people that are seeing things very similar to the way you're seeing them, have very similar attitudes that you can join and find community there. You could be a part of a community and not even know it. Just based on your hair color. You know, two blondes meeting out there. They're in a community of blondes, a community of brunettes. Your skin color, your weight, or any kind of trauma that you've been through. If you've ever gone to a support group and you have a bunch of people that have a shared experience, then that's very rich and deep, and communities form that way too. Community is what we are here to build. And it's not a matter of if you will be in a community, it's a matter of just which community are you going to belong to. My pastor that I had, my old mentor would say, it's like having a mother. You don't get to choose whether or not you have a mother. It's your mother. You choose. You're getting one whether you like it or not, and you're going to have a relationship with a mother of some kind. So it's all about community. So how do you know if you're in a community? And this is pretty good. If you are out someplace and you see someone and you recognize something about them, you recognize something that they're wearing, you recognize that they're limping. If you have knee pain, and I'm going to reveal something about you, Heather, but I know I always do.
Doesn't know.
I always do. But Heather has arthritis in her knees, so it makes it difficult for her to walk long distances and to get around. And when she sees someone else that is having a similar issue, that is having a hard time walking around, they're having a difficult time getting from here to there, she immediately, her heart goes out to them. She goes and she tries to help them. She seeks to help. She understands, it's empathy, her heart opens up, and there is this unspoken communication there just based on what she saw. It's this kinship that is kind of instantaneous. And that's what community is. That's what happens in community, is kinship, it's empathy, it's care, it's deference, it's forgiveness, it's family, it's support. And you are far more likely to forgive someone that you recognize as being in your community than you are to forgive someone that's outside of your community. And we all want to forgive, right? Yeah. Some of us don't want to forgive, and I totally understand that. But for the sake of this conversation, perhaps we can agree that not having the burden of a grudge, not having the burden of hatred towards someone else is a beautiful thing in your life. And an avenue towards that is forgiveness. And when you're in community, you just forgive a little bit easier. When I'm leaving an event, especially an event where I know everyone, if someone from that event, we're at a four-way stop, someone doesn't stop and they keep going, and I recognize them, that's Peggy's car. That Peggy, she should have stopped at that stoplight. Well, okay, off we go. As opposed to if I didn't know them, didn't identify them as part of my community, how would I treat that person in my mind? There might be an expletive that comes from my lips. There might be certain gestures that I aim towards that person. I mean, it's a little person if they're not part of my tribe, if they're not part of my community. I'm not willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. So we need community as avenues of love where we can practice intentional forgiveness. You don't have to forgive that stranger that just cut you off in traffic. There's nothing that requires you to forgive that person. But if you've got someone in your community that you're going to see often, that you identify with, that you share some oneness with, you're going to seek to forgive them, just as you would seek to forgive someone in your own household. You're going to seek to forgive them, and that is the power of community. It makes us do things that we wouldn't normally do. It makes us consider things that we wouldn't actually normally consider. So all these things that happen in community are all the things that happen outside of community. Okay, you've got life that happens. You've got events. You've got people that, you've got people that are destructive in community. People that want to just come in and be selfish and destroy and all the things that happen in the macrocosm of the world happen in the microcosm of community. But there is that base in community. That is that sameness, that thing that we all grab onto and use to connect to each other. So life happens in community. But One thing that doesn't happen in community is aloneness. You are not alone in community. When you have someone with a common interest, when you have people that are similarly aligned, you're never alone. You are joining together. You are kind of practicing what we're all here to do anyway, and that is to join together as one. Think of how many problems can be solved in the world today if we look at each other as part of one community. If I knew that my actions directly affect someone on the other side of the world, and I saw that person on the other side of the world as being in my family, in my community, as being my loved one, then that's going to change what I do. If you have a loved one that smokes, this is a great one. If you got a loved one that smokes, and then suddenly there's someone in the household that cannot tolerate smoke, the loved one that smokes will modify their behavior. They'll go outside. They won't smoke around that person. They'll change their life up in order to make this person comfortable, in order to make their community member, their family member more comfortable. They're willing to make a sacrifice in order to do that. If we're able to do that, not only for our friends, not only for our immediate community, but for the world, if we all had that sense of kinship, a whole lot of things would be different. You wouldn't have that person driving down the street throwing their cigarette butt out of the window, because they know that that cigarette butt is landing on a street that is in their community that is going to affect their family members. You're not going to take a cigarette butt and just throw it onto your kitchen floor, because that's where you live. So we need community. We're reaching out and we're searching for community. Whenever you go someplace and you're new and you're looking at people, when I'm looking at people, I'm looking for familiar people. When I'm uncomfortable, oh, there's someone that I can kind of scooch next to and so that I can feel more comfortable. We're all immediately looking for community. But if you don't find it, like I was saying last week, all you have to do something in there that you can latch onto. There's love there that you can latch onto. There's experience there that you can latch onto. There is community there. There's likeness. There's sameness. I mentioned before that I do RC, radio control. I fly RC planes and I do RC cars, and that's just a very fun little hobby for me. But in order to fly my planes, I have to go to a place and I have to join a club, and I have to be in that club and fly. To have we got a little runway and all that stuff. When I first entered into this club, everyone, and it's a club that's in El Dorado Hills, everyone in the club was older than me. They were almost all Caucasian. They were almost all conservative. I'm not conservative. That's just something about me. I'm conservative about some things. But so they're all Republican. They were almost all ex-military. I'm not. I couldn't be farther away from these guys if I tried to be. But into the club I go because I want to fly. So I'm sitting there talking to some of these guys, and one of the guys that I latched on to that I wound up getting into very long conversations with was an ex-cop who is extremely conservative, who always makes these off-color jokes. But we meet and we talk about what we love. And he opens up like a flower. He couldn't be more giving. He couldn't be more loving. This old, gruff, old man that doesn't even fly anymore. He just likes to go out there and watch people fly. But he's all rough around the edges. But talk about how things. And he opens up. Talk about his service. Talk about what he loves. Talk about his family. And we were alike. It's that we met up and we had similar viewpoints. Now, there are some political things that we got in very nice conversations about. But again, he respected me. He respected my viewpoint. And this is someone that I would not go up to and just strike up a conversation with. Because I didn't see how we were part of the same community until we talked. Until we got to know each other. We started to look forward to seeing each other out at the field. Hey, how you doing? And I got to know all the guys out there. And they're all the same way. We don't agree on everything, but we make a wonderful family. We listen to each other. We respect each other. We practice loving each other. It's what community is. It's a practice of love. It's a practice of oneness. So I used to think that I've done this all on my own, gotten far enough on my own. I don't need, a bunch of people around me, supporting me. And I was clueless until I found community and found what it can do, found how transformative it can be. How loving it can be, how supportive it can be, how having a group of people all rooting for you, knowing your best, what kind of impact that can make on your life. So, Ode to Joy is our theme of today. And in reviewing my notes, CSL comes out with notes about every Sunday, and I couldn't figure out how this title tied in with what they wanted us to talk about this week, so I'm just talking about something different. And Ode to Joy made me think of the Ode to Joy, Beethoven's Ode to Joy. And what an ode is a poem that is celebrating a specific topic. And so what I think this is, as far as community is concerned, I think an ode to joy is that a community, how it's built, what it stands for, what its values are, is an ode to the joy of oneness. It's an ode to the joy of oneness. How wonderful it is to love another person, to know them, to want the best for them, to hold them in your heart. That's what community is. It is a practice of oneness. It's kind of teaching us what we need to know to be successful in our next phase. Because our phase that we're in now, our phase of humanity, our phase of development, we've done a lot. Look at all we can do. We can we can stream videos around the world. We've got all these electronics. We've got all this technology that we can do. We're very crafty. We have done a lot with our brains. Now we need to work more with our hearts. with our hearts to open up. We're finding out that we can't do this alone. We can't have one raise up and leave all these others behind. We have to love everyone if this is going to work. If we're going to survive as a humanity, we have to figure out how to include everyone, how to love everyone, how to consider everyone, how to be one community. And that is what we practice in our smaller communities. So I just want you to expand your idea of community and to know that you're in more communities than you think. And that's what I want to leave you with our home play. Take this home with you. Number one, consider how many communities you belong to. How many communities you belong to. Whether you know about them or you don't know about them, just think about the multitude of different interests that you have and different people that you connect to. Number two, talk to people and find the communities that you share. You're not going to be able to talk to everyone. Some people you don't want to talk to. Some people it might be dangerous to talk to. But I know that in my life I can communicate with far more people than I am today. I see a lot of times, I see someone just throw you a glance or something, and you could strike up a conversation. You could just give them love from your heart with a glance. Every person that you meet, you can open your heart to love. And that opening is a signal to people. Sometimes people just come up to you and just start talking. I love when that happens because they have seen my open sign. They know that I'm open, so they come up and strike up a conversation. Do that with people. Talk to them. See how you are alike. Find your commonalities with your fellow person. And know that it's not everything that you see on the news and television and everything. We're not at each other's throats. We are far more alike than we are different. We're looking to love each other. We're looking to find ways to connect. So open yourself up to these connections. And observe what happens. As you go through your life, as you go through this next week with an open door, looking to connect to people, see what happens in your life. See what interesting things God puts in your life as a result of you being open, because that's how it works. You believe something about yourself, you believe something about the world, and then God shows that to you. Manifest. So, that's what I leave you with today. Go out and expand your community. Find new communities, find new loves, new avenues of love. So let's take that into prayer. And let's go inside right now. Inside. Beyond our bodies. Beyond our conditions. Beyond the physical. To that place deep inside. That place of peace, quiet. To that place of knowing. That place of belonging. Let us go inside to that place of power and creativity and infinite wisdom and declare that there is one spirit, one consciousness, one divine community, one God. And I know that this one is always good. This one is all power, is infinite joy, abundance, wisdom, peace, light, and beauty. And I know this oneness is my birthplace. I know that we have all sprang forth from the one consciousness. And so everything that makes up this one, I know that I am made of. And so as I spring forth from Spirit, I know that I enjoy all of the qualities of Spirit. I enjoy access to infinite power and peace and light and joy and beauty. These things are alive in me. These things are me. And as I know that they are me, I know that they're you. And I know that everyone on this planet is made of God's stuff. So that we all have the power to unite as one. We all have the power to love one another. We all have the power to change our lives. And so I'm grateful to know this. I'm grateful to know that God's power is my power, and I can use that power in my life to bring in my good. And so it's with this gratitude that I release these words into the mind of the universe. I let these words go without a care, knowing that as soon as I do, Spirit begins working and manifesting these beautiful words right in front of my eyes, manifesting love, manifesting peace, manifesting community, manifesting good. Oh, oh, hearts.
We are family, you and we are one with the moon and the sun. We are travelers, traveling as far. We must find some time. We should get together anything we could. We try and stay.
Thank you, Billy. Billy is being a big trooper today. He just got over, not freshly over, but yeah, just got over COVID. Might be a HIPAA violation, but I'm revealing that he just got over COVID, and so happy that you're back with us. And he's been properly quarantined. He's wearing a mask. He's modeling excellent behavior in our COVID times these days. So we are a center that observes the spiritual practice of giving and tithing. We call it conscious, committed, structured giving. And there are many ways to give and to expand your abundance consciousness. We give of our time through volunteering our service. We give of our talents through participation. And we give of our treasure through financial donations. Your gifts help us in our mission to provide a sanctuary for all of you that aspire to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. We believe this is a path to peace. Every month we select, or every quarter we select a tithing partner, and we've only got 2 weeks left of this quarter to support NAMI Yolo County. And just to let you know, we've been talking about them all quarter, but who they are the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And they are the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. And it's a worthy organization. And I've been affected by mental illness, and I think we all have been, one way or another. So as you give today, give a little bit more. We're going to give 2% of our tithe to NAMI Yolo. They're a great organization working in Yolo County. Now, there are several ways to give. You can text to give. You can PayPal to give at this PayPal address that's on your screen now, or you can send a good old-fashioned check or money order to CSL Davis Send that to CSL Yolo. And not CSL Davis. I got to change that in my notes. And one of the millions of places that I have to change the name, But yes, you can also send us a check or money order. But for now, send that to CSL Davis because the bank doesn't have our new name yet.
Right.
Yeah. So still send your check or money order to CSL Davis. So very important. So now that we know why we give and how to give, let us enter into that sacred consciousness of abundance, divine abundance, and place your hand over your heart, symbolizing that vibrational energy of circulation. You can feel your heart pumping away in there. And say with me our abundance affirmation. I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. Today, I celebrate my prosperity and my ability to share from my overflow of good. I give from the knowledge that all is well.
I is my source. God is my God gives me everything. So give thanks for all the blessings. God gives me everything. My source. So all my blessings. God gives me everything. God gives me
We bless and release these gifts to do their work of proclaiming the good news that all is well. As we have freely given according to the law of circulation, it returns to us full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So we will always have more to enjoy and to spare, to give and to share. For this we give thanks. We let it be so, and so it is. And we are making way for the torrent of children and youth that are making their way towards the center right now. And so we want to welcome those children into our hearts, into our center with the words, "We love you.
We love you.
We are here for you.
We are here for you.
And we are so glad you're here."
And we're so glad you're here.
All right, we believe in the power of connection, the power of community. And what does that mean? Well, that means that we believe that we're all connected to each other and we're connected to God right now. And that connection has power. So as we are believing for each other, that belief has a power, and our practitioners are trained to know, detect, to see, to practice, to inform you of how great and wonderful and connected to God that you are. So if you are in need of prayer today, please let us know. And our practitioner of the day is Dr. Deborah Taylor. I'm also available for prayer if you need prayer. And who doesn't need prayer? You know, I was looking for my phone the other day. And I'm looking through the house, I can't find it. And Heather says, "Hey, you want me to call your phone?" I was like, no, I got a couple more places I can look. And I keep looking. Don't bother, Heather. And I keep looking. It's like, man, I come back after 15 minutes, I cannot find it. And she said, well, let me call it. I'm like, go ahead and call it. So she calls it. I find it in 2 seconds. Why didn't I just have her call it in the first place? Because I wanted to do it on my own. That's my excuse. And a lot of times we don't put our troubles into God's hands. Why? Because our troubles are so small, or because we only save God for the big things, or we don't want to bother God. We don't want to we want to do things on our own. You're never doing anything on your own. You are always together partnering with God to do everything. So call on God with everything that you need, everything that you need, God is available to you. So don't wait. Don't be like me and wait until you're just sick of looking and sick of not having that thing that you're looking for. Don't wait. As soon as you detect that you need something, know that God can supply that for you. Know that God is supplying that for you. And so that is what the power of connection is. That's what the power of prayer is. So after the service, if you need prayer, then please avail yourself to one of us, and we will pray you up. Also, we're going to have fellowship, as we mentioned earlier, downstairs in the fellowship hall. Come down for coffee and tea and whatever other goodies we have milling about down there. And have some fellowship time and just get to know us a little bit. So we're going to go down and have fellowship right after our closing song and benediction. So without further ado, we're going to sing the peace song, but with some modified lyrics. So pay attention to the screen, and we like to sing this in present tense. Not let there be peace on earth, but yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. So that is our tone of how we sing this song. So let's do it. Go forth, go forth, and explore community. Find your communities out there and know that always and forever God loves you. And so it is.
Thank you, Billy.